Good afternoon. I'm at the top of the house. It's Friday afternoon. It's very bright but hazy. We took a walk out earlier, went out to the Chilterns and went to our favourite woodland, Aston Wood, and caught the bluebells. It was quite magical. The last time we caught them was 2022 in Aston Wood, and we were just entranced. And this morning was exactly the same. It was absolutely gorgeous. We had to wander around for a bit because it was very dull to start with, but I kind of had a feeling that the sun would appear. And it did. So managed to get some footage of the bluebell wood, and here it is. So we're in Aston Wood for our walk, and we wanted to catch the bluebells. The bluebells are out. We're at one end of the wood at the moment, which has got more brambles than bluebells. But the other end of the wood is rather chock full. And also, I don't know whether you can see, but the yellow rape fields are in full bloom. There is a band of luminous yellow in the distance, which I think you can just about see on here. So we've walked through the wood already, but we are going to walk back through and hope that the sun comes out, because it is rather dull, which is a shame. We could just do with some sun, but I don't know whether you can see, the trees are now in leaf. Obviously not fully, but we've got that fresh spring green everywhere, and the birds are singing like crazy. It's about, I don't know, coming up to 11 o'clock?
About half 11, 12.
Birdsong is absolutely tremendous here. Paul's got an app that's telling him which birds are singing at the moment. So we waited around for a while, and the sun has come out, and the bluebells are glowing. I was just saying to Paul, I never tire of visiting these woods. And again, it's been very quiet. We've seen a few people admiring the bluebells. And people tend to say, gosh, isn't it beautiful? And I agree. Such a beautiful woodland, it really is. Somebody made a comment on one of my videos, and it was, I think, meant to be a semi-jokey comment. Oh, that would be a great place for a dirt bike. Oh yeah, well, I removed that comment because I thought it's people like that who seem to derive some kind of joy from ruining things for other people. And I find that despicable, how anybody could think of riding a dirt bike through this beautiful, peaceful wood. No. Look at that. So I hope you enjoyed that. I have a deep affinity with bluebells. They strongly connect me to my childhood. My granny and granddad had a very large garden. Very large garden. They didn't have any money. It was a council property, but it was a corner plot. So it had a big driveway, it had a garden that wrapped around the property and had a little woodland at the end. And it had lots of bluebells, but it also had white bells and pink bells, which fascinated me because I couldn't understand why people still called them bluebells. I said, but they're white and pink. But it was delightful. There was a little sort of shed which was used as a little playhouse by the kids. Yeah, it was a dream for children. And there was a massive lilac that you could actually go inside and play underneath the lilac tree and be completely hidden. And I remember my granddad had to cut it back because it got too big. We also played in the willow tree as well. And there was also a damson tree, a very old damson tree that used to exude resin occasionally. And my granny used to make the most amazing damson jam. So all of those things link me to the past, to my grandparents, but bluebells in particular do that, and lilac as well, lilac blossom. So it's lovely. It's lovely to have those memories, and it's lovely to have them sparked by seeing bluebells. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to do some work now on the computer. It seems that work on the computer is my life at the moment. And I am working on the cookery book as well, and the recipe cards. At this rate, the cookery book will be available in 2030. I'm serious. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for one person. You know, I'm not part of a team working on this. I'm working on it on my own. So, you know, yeah, boo-hoo, poor me. I'm just saying, don't expect it next week, because that's not going to happen. It's going to take a while to put it together. And also there's going to be some writing involved, because I don't just want it as a bog standard cookery book. I want to put some words in there that, you know, have some other meaning rather than cookery, you know, to sort of link to things. Like I've just done with the Bluebells. Yeah. Food memories, food experiences, that kind of thing. I'm going to go now. I'll see you later. Morning, Sunday morning. Beautiful weather, and it's going to be a stunning week apparently. I'm indoors as usual because I've got housework to do today. I'm taking a step back from all the work I've been doing on the computer recently, because I've been doing quite a lot, working on this cookery book. But I've got to do some sewing today. I need to repair these gloves again. How many times have I done these fingertips? But I'm going to do them properly this time. I'm going to work on each one. I'm going to roll them round and really go to town on getting them really secure. And then I need to give them a good wash. As you know, I wiped my nose on one of them the other day and I haven't washed them yet. Disgusting. I don't cook in them. Yeah. So that's one of the jobs I'm doing. I've got a wash on. In fact, it's just finished. I just heard it beep. So I need to get that out. I need to get another wash on. I need to do bedding. I've changed the bedding already. That's been done. I need to do some vacuuming, some dusting, and just a general tidy around. And also on my list of things to do is cleaning the car, because that's going into the garage this week for its MOT and service. So that's Tuesday. Yeah. And I've got a couple of other things I need to do as well. So yeah, Paul's gone down to the plot. We've had a bit of a discussion this morning around YouTube and just basically how slowly our channel is growing. It's extremely slow at the moment. The number of views is lower at the moment. It kind of went up and it's gone down again. We're not exactly sure why. We feel as though we're providing content that you enjoy, but not an awful lot of people out of the 7,900 subscribers that we have. Only a fraction of people are watching, so that's okay. I get it. You know, I get that we don't tend to provide lots of new, sparkling content. We just vlog about our lives, but it's always been that way, you know. And I don't want to get to the stage where I sell out, you know, and start having to try sensational things in order to get views, because that's not how we work, you know. And my logic is that if a certain percentage of people enjoy what we do, then other people will also enjoy what we do. But it's just the time it's taking. And I think part of my mind is sort of panicking a little bit because I don't have an income, you know, and our YouTube income is not enough to live on. And yes, we do have our supporters page as well, but that's kind of meant to be funding if things go wrong. So if a camera breaks or we need a new tripod or light, both of those things are on the list of things to buy. It's supposed to be for that. So we're not really, you know, wishing to live on that money as such. And the income that YouTube brings in is minimal at the moment. One would have thought that, you know, having raised our views so well in the past couple of months, you know, YouTube was saying, congratulations, you've increased your views by 117%, you know, which was brilliant, but it just hasn't translated to the amount of money. And that's because the amount of money that YouTube pays out varies wildly from month to month, from week to week. So you're not guaranteed a consistent income. And this month it's lower. So, yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum, as to why this happens. And we know a few other channels that have gone through the same thing as well, that have ground to a halt and, nothing's happened, and then they grow again. And I kind of guess our channel's gone through fits and starts. But yeah, it's a concern. It's a concern. What we're going to do about it? Well, I don't know. If I were to make content all of the time, it would be weeks before you saw it. Then I'd be forgetting what I'd actually done. Or I'd be accused of bombarding you with stuff, which again is not very good either. So I don't think we found the right balance. And the guidance that you get is not always very helpful, from YouTube. In terms of suggestions from you guys, you've come up with some great things, and I've tried to respond to those things as much as possible. But also I've noticed the past few days, because I've been working so hard on the cookery book project, which again, I have no idea whether that's going to be worth it. I do feel rather tired. So I think today is going to be a day for doing these little jobs rather than thinking about YouTube and social media. I think I'm just going to take a little step back and focus on some other things that need to be done. So yeah, that's me for you today. I guess I would describe my mood as slightly despondent. But you go through this when you're doing social media. You go through moments where you think, what am I doing? Is it worth it? Will it be worth it? Will we grow? Will we earn any more money? Do you know? These are all important things in life, but sometimes I think you can become too involved in it and you need to just rest a little bit, step back, take a day out. And that's what I'm doing today, apart from filming, obviously. Yeah. So that's it for the moment. I'll see you later. Good afternoon. It's Monday. It's around lunchtime. And I have spent the morning washing and cleaning the car. It's going in for its MOT tomorrow. And for those of you who don't know what an MOT is, it is a yearly car examination that every car owner has to have done. And it is to determine the roadworthiness of the vehicle. And it's usually done around the same time as we have a service as well. Because it's convenient, really. If anything needs doing, then it can be done. And when they do the MOT, and also you've got to have your MOT done to be able to get your car tax as well. It's all linked. What was I going to say? Yeah, normally as a result, you get what are called advisories, which are things that have to be fixed. There are some urgent ones and then there are non-urgent ones. So one hopes that there isn't too much to be done. And whenever I take the car in for anything, I like to clean it, make sure it's perfectly clean, smells fresh, and is very clean inside, because I believe that they're more likely to treat the vehicle with respect. So that's the way I think. So rewind to yesterday. I had a very quiet day yesterday because I wasn't feeling too good. I think I was really tired. I think I've been doing a lot of work, and I had to have an afternoon nap. And I actually slept for about 2.5 hours. So I must have needed it, and slept well last night. And I feel okay today, maybe still a little tired. But hey, that happens sometimes. So yeah, it has taken me this morning to clean the car inside and out the best part of 3 hours. So that's getting into all the door seals, cleaning around all the door frames, getting underneath the doors, wiping them, where all the water channels go. So just really giving it a thorough clean, which it really needed. Because it's been to Surrey and back throughout the winter, in very wet weather, and of course roads are dirty. Cars get incredibly dirty. It's amazing, really, the amount of pollution, because it's literally black what you're removing. Black. So yeah, that's me this morning. I think we'll be having some lunch shortly. And I've got a few other jobs that I'd like to tackle this afternoon. Just boring stuff. So yeah, but I'm glad that I've done that this morning. It was well overdue. I haven't been able to wax it because it's full sun at the moment. But what I've also done is started to repair a little spot of rust just above the windscreen. I think something must have hit and chipped some paint off. So I've treated the rust. I'm waiting to do another application in a few minutes because the alarm's going to go off for me. And then once that has dried, I'll be able to touch it up with a little bit of silver paint. So I've got a tiny little kit for repairing scratches. So I'm going to do that. Any rust spots I like to treat as soon as I find them so they don't get any worse. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. I'll see you later. It's Monday afternoon and the mini heat wave has started in London. It's about 26 degrees outside. And I've just been out on the roof. So I've had a few little jobs to do, the usual things, tidying, cleaning, doing tea towels, all of that. But I've also had another job on my list of things to do, which I've been putting off. Those jobs that you just think, oh God, I don't know whether I'm up to this. You remember the saga with the washing machine, where I tried to do some plumbing myself and it all went tits up and I had to call Pimlico Plumbers, one of the most expensive plumbers in London. They're fantastic. They come quickly. They're brilliant, but they're expensive. So me tackling plumbing things. So anyway, rewind. So last year at some point, we noticed that the outlet pipe for our sink and bath in the bathroom was leaking. So we know this because there's a big sash window in our bathroom, as you've probably seen. Lots of beautiful light during the day, it's gorgeous. But right below the window, and it looks out over our flat roof, which is the dining room and kitchen. Out of the window you can see the flat roof, and I noticed that water was going along the flat roof, luckily to the drain pipe, the gutter. So that's okay, it's not pouring out anywhere else, it's being captured. But anyway, so I decided to investigate only to find that the previous owners, or maybe the owners before them, had suspended the outlet pipe for the bath and the sink just underneath the waste pipe for the loo. They'd suspended it with some string. That piece of string had broken. The pipe where it was joined had tipped downwards, therefore opening the pipe up, and the water was pouring out. I think, was this during the winter? I'm not sure. So I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I got out there, inspected it, could not get the pipe to sort of join. I don't know why, it just wouldn't join together. So I got some of that tape, that black tape, and I taped it all up and thought, well, it's just going to have to hold. Normally, I would say, right, let's put a new waste pipe in. However, in our bathroom, the waste pipe system is all underneath the bath, which has a fixed wooden bath panel. And the way the pipe sort of lines up, it's not directly under the bath. So I think it goes under the floorboards. So it would be a get the floorboards up job, take the bath panel off, blah, blah, blah. Also, the pipe is concreted in. Yeah. So anyway, we taped it up, all okay. We've sort of been having baths, letting the water out slowly so as to not put too much pressure. Anyhow, a couple of weeks ago, noticed that it was leaking again. So, yeah. So I've been, it's that awful sinking feeling when you know you've got a job to do that is potentially going to cost money if you can't fix it, and quite a lot of money. Yeah. So I've been, this has been plaguing me in my moments of quiet for the past couple of weeks. It really has. So I've been putting it off. And today's the day where I decided to tackle it. Now, bear in mind, we also have a problem with our shower. So our shower has no cold feed for some reason. It's disappeared. So the controller has somehow malfunctioned. It will give me hot water, but not cold. Yeah, but the sink's fine and the loo's fine. So we're very lucky in this house. We've got 3 toilets. We've got 4 sinks, shower and bath. Well, the shower, out of action. The bath is now out of action. So we've been having strip washes and just managing, Absolutely fine, not a problem. But today was the day when I thought, you know what, I've got to get out there and try and fix this. So I did, got onto the roof, have to get through the window onto the roof. Yeah, I didn't film it. There's no filming of things like this because these things really stress me. It wasn't, pardon me, going to be a simple task. So first of all, I had to remove all of the black tape, which took me about 25 minutes to do that using scissors and a Stanley knife, wearing gloves. So I managed to do that. Then I had to resuspend the pipework from the toilet out onto the toilet outlet pipe, which is fixed onto the wall, which is fine. So I've done that with cable ties. Successful. And with that in place, that enabled me to wiggle the pipe and get it in, get it together, which I couldn't do before. And I don't know why, because I was probably panicking. So I've managed to get the pipe together. I've managed to silicone it in. It is now fixed in place. I'm going to wait 24 hours and then I'm going to run some water through the drain and see if it's holding. It should hold. It should be fine because it's all kind of in place and in line. I had the same problem with the outlet pipe for the washing machine and the dishwasher, only that's at ground level and is easier to fix. So that's been my afternoon. I think it took me about an hour or so to do, but I've done it, and I hope it stays there. I hope it's fixed. So much anxiety around that. So much anxiety. It's unbelievable. But it's done. And if it does hold, then great. If it doesn't, I'll be siliconing it again. And I'll never forget a friend of mine who helped me plumb in our bathroom. You see, I've done it before. Helped me plumb in the bathroom at our flat. And he said, sink wastes are notorious. They always leak. Just put more silicone on it. Just keep putting the silicone on it. And that's what plumbers do. Very often there are just these very easy fixes to things. The downstairs loo, when we were doing up the house to sell, I gave the downstairs loo a makeover, fixed the cistern back onto the wall, which caused a small leak. I siliconed that, and it's never leaked again. Hurrah for silicone. So yeah. So I'm hot, I'm sweaty. I'm now going to go up to the shower room, run a nice big sink full of lovely hot water, and I'm going to have a strip wash. And no, I'm not filming it. So yeah, there you go. Today, lots of jobs. Very physical jobs as well. Cleaning the car is a very physical job. And if you'd have asked me yesterday, are you going to get those jobs done tomorrow? I'd have probably said no, because I was feeling so crap and so tired. But now I've done that. Now I've done both of those jobs. I actually feel kind of quite good. There's a calmness in me now. And the anxiety is really abated. Honestly, being a homeowner, having to climb onto roofs, through windows. Hey ho, let's all pray. I don't pray, but let's all pray that it holds and it's successful. Yeah. Please. That's it for today. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, it's the MOT tomorrow. Another thing to worry about. Hurrah! I'm a Virgo. I worry. Bye for now. Morning. It is Tuesday morning. I've just got in. I've been out. I know. Unbelievable. I've been to drop the car off at the garage for its MOT and service. So, and I think I mentioned yesterday about anxiety. I always have anxiety when taking the car to get any kind of work done. And it's mainly because it's historic. And it's mainly because most of those environments are heavily male, almost usually exclusively male. And I always feel, I don't show it because I've got good masking techniques. But I always feel very intimidated by those kind of environments. And actually I need to learn not to be, because I can hold my own. And I perform. I perform a role. I quickly enable conversation. I quickly enable friendliness. I try to establish a quick rapport with the people behind the desk. And it was quite nice this morning because there was multiple ethnicities, and they were all very friendly, and they were on the ball. They had the booking in front of them as I walked through the door to the office, and it was a pleasant experience. And the anxiety is not around, oh goodness me, what if work needs to be done? I mean, yeah, there is a little bit of anxiety around that in terms of paying for it if it's something expensive. But it's about the interactions, because historically, garages that I've been to, I've just had that, I don't know, not toxic male environment, but just a feeling that you're being judged. You know, that they'll spot me that I'm a gay man a mile away, which is not hard, frankly. You don't need much of, you don't need many observational skills to get that. But it's just that feeling that you're being judged and that it's not safe. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure most of the girls watching, girls and ladies, will understand what I mean. Because also you've got that thing when you're told something needs to be done, you're treated a bit like an idiot, you know. And yeah, in terms of car maintenance, these days I'm relatively incompetent. I used to be able to do a sort of partial service on my Ford Escort, which was my first car. And I learned how to do it from a friend who was an engineer. I learned how to clean spark plugs, how to change filters, how to change the oil, all of those kind of things, you know. But still, you sort of feel incompetent, you feel judged. But I think it's changing. That's what I observe. I think it's changing. And I think it's to do with customer retention. That's what it's about. I think most businesses are desperate to retain customers, you know. And of course we're lucky because the garage is just around the corner. So it, you know, it's literally, it's not even 5-minute walk, I don't think, you know. So it's really convenient, and it's a Halfords as well, which is a, you know, big brand. So it's in their best interest to be pleasant with everybody. So one hopes that one is now accepted for one's sexuality, because that's what they judge me on. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't wear my sexuality on my sleeve. I don't advertise it, and I don't demand that people accept me. But in this day and age, one hopes that the majority of people have just gone, gay people, so what? Do you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Really, it's not a big deal. But we do have magical powers. Anywho, that's me so far, and it's, I don't know, 8:45, something like that. So yeah, I'm going to get on with a little bit of computer work now. I've got to start putting my vlogs together because it's Wednesday tomorrow. So I'm just going to hope that there's nothing majorly wrong with the car, that it passes its MOT, and that whatever work needs to be done is minor, let's hope. So there we are. So I'll see you later. Hello. It's Tuesday evening. It's been a beautiful day, so hot. I'm just going outside because I thought I'd do this vlog from outside. Oh, I've locked the bloody door. I've just been doing a job out there. Sorry. Yeah, I've just been replacing the connectors on the hose because it was dripping so badly whenever I use the hose pipe to water. And I was getting a bit sick of it, to be honest. So, yeah, I thought I'd sit out here. Oh. Oh. Yeah, the weather is lovely and warm. Let me swing you round so you see my view. This is the time of day when the sun is hitting the tops of the trees at the end of the garden. But it's gone off the patio, so actually it's quite nice because the patio remains cool. So, let me see. Oh, planes now. Oh, let me just show you this. Hold on. It's the only one we've had this year. It's a columbine, or aquilegia, as we call it. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, let me sit down again. It's actually getting cooler now, but it's been really, really warm. So the car passed its MOT, but there were a few advisories. Advisories that look like they're written in a foreign language, I have to say. But they'll need to get dealt with, and the garage doesn't do those repairs, so I've got to find another garage, blah, blah, blah. But there were a list of things that they could do in addition to the service. So it's actually been a very expensive day. So as well as the service, there were, I think, about 5 other things that they recommended. So I said yes to them because we've got to maintain that car. We've got to keep it going. It's our only vehicle, and we certainly can't afford to buy another one. So we need to keep this one in good nick. But the garage were very pleasant. I went up there to pick it up about 5 o'clock. Paid the extra. Yeah, and drove home, and it feels nippier. So that's good. So yeah, I've just been fixing the hose. You can just see the connector, only to find out that actually it's the tap that's leaking. However, the other bit down here on the sort of wheelie bit, that was dripping very, very badly. I was having to put a pot there to catch the water. That's fixed. Great. Success. So yeah, today's been a bit of a weird one, but again, full of sort of anxiety around the car, but it's okay. It needs more work. I'm going to go to another garage, present the list of foreign things to them, and let them work out how much it's going to cost to get sorted. They're not emergency things, but they're things that need to be done. So yeah, there you go. I think Paul's put some food on. Yeah. And I'm actually going to go in because it is quite nippy now. As soon as the sun disappears, the temperature plummets. And I believe that next week it's going to be back to usual temperatures. But the peak of the heat this week is going to be on Thursday. It's going to reach 28, 29. So, yeah. I think I may try and do some gentle gardening. There's a couple of things I need to do. The oleander needs to go in the ground, although it's not the best time of year to do it, but that does need to be done. And some gentle pruning needs to happen as well. So, yeah, there you go. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Morning. Morning, Wednesday. So, what is in store for me today? Well, a bit of gardening, I think. We've got to that stage where, by the way, the mornings and evenings are still chilly, by the way, but we've got to that stage where we've had lots of sun, a bit of rain, things have flowered, but now leaf growth is kind of taking on that sort of spurt, which means I've got a few bushes in the back garden that really need to be taken under control, especially the forsythia or forsythia, whatever you like to say. That needs to be pruned after flowering, and flowering is finished now, well and truly finished. So I need to take that under control. I like my bushes to be shaped. No, I do. Not all of them, but some of them. And I use my little, the only time I use a power tool is when I use my little trimmer. A little rechargeable Bosch trimmer, which I bought, I think, last year. Because I found using the shears was just such heavy work, especially doing the grass. I thought I must be able to get some little clippers that I can use. So I bought those, and they were good value, and they're reasonably good. And light, easy on the hands. The other day, my hands were absolutely aching after doing all that manual work. Especially my thumbs, really sore. So it helps with things like that, None of us are spring chickens anymore. So yeah, the other piece of very annoying news is the people that sort of live in that direction, whose garage butts up against our house, are having another extension built, and they start work next week. They had an extension built about, 5 years ago. Well, apparently they're having it redone. Not because it's falling down, but because they want more space. How much space do you need? So now the current situation is there's a building project over there. There's a building project over there. There's a building project 4 doors down here. And now there's going to be another one. And I've said this before. I just think it's ridiculous how nowadays people aren't consulted. Neighbours don't really let neighbours know when things are happening. And there should be a limit on the number of projects allowed in one area. There should be a cap, because for those of us who work from home, we literally have to endure noise all day. And when the temperatures are 26, 27, 28 degrees at the top of the house, it's even hotter. And therefore the windows need to be opened. But you can't do that because of all the noise and the pollution, the dust. So, yeah, another building project. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. I don't know what to say, really. Anyhow, this morning I've put a wash on, woke up early as usual, around 6. Well, it was about 5:30, I think, when I woke up. I'm going to get dressed shortly and start my day. Start doing some gardening in the coolness of the morning before it gets too hot. I think tomorrow's going to be really hot, and then I think I said already it's going to drop again to normal temperatures. So instead of 28, 26, 28, it's going to be around 16. But like I said before, evenings and mornings are cool still, so it still requires a scarf and a cardi. Sweater weather. Yeah, I think that's it. So, yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So that was a busy morning. Yeah, done quite a lot of gardening. I filled 3 trugs full of green waste and I still haven't finished. I've still got to rake the grass. I need to reseed it. That previous seed that I applied a couple of weeks ago, when was it? Was it last week or the week before? Can't remember. It didn't take because I wasn't on top of the watering, because the hose was leaking, blah, blah, blah. Now the hose isn't leaking because I fixed it. I can put the sprinkler on and really bed the seed in. So I'm going to reapply the seed later. So what I'm going to do is switch to the other camera that I did the other shots on and just show you a few of the things that are blooming in close up, because there's some sweet little flowers that I want to show you. And yeah, so let's get out there into the warm air. It's very warm. Let's just take a look at the temperature. When I say it's very warm, it is very warm on the patio. It's currently 33.9 degrees. Now that is because the sensor is in full sun. But look at the difference between the indoor and the outdoor. Massive difference. That's how cool it is in our house. You can imagine what the winter's like. It's not fun. And it's it's 10 to 2 in the afternoon. Pressure's dropping slightly. I think there is change on the horizon. We can see from this graph as well that the pressure's coming down. So yeah, so let's get outside and do a little mini garden tour. Just thought I'd show you this close up, this little hand trimmer. As you can see, it's fairly small. Comes with 2 blades. It's a Bosch. Is it a Bosch? Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't expensive. I bought it last year just to help me around the garden, and I love it. It charges, it's rechargeable, and the charge lasts for, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, which is plenty to do the work that I need to do. And I also use it to trim the grass. So there you go. I just thought I'd show you the close-up. So just a very quick look at some of the little flowers that are in bloom. Our garden isn't really a flower garden as such, and most of what you see is actually self-seeded. So the aqualegias, the forget-me-nots, the alkanet. We've got some cornflowers, I think, coming up as well, but we don't get enough sun for it to be a flower garden. So, but yeah, so I better get out there again now and just finish the raking, put some grass seed down, put the sprinkler on. Yeah, I need to finish off. So this is the goodbye, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.